Hello everyone and welcome to our latest sponsored challenge on our BN channel. Welcome everyone to the Modern Muscle Truck Challenge, sponsored and made by our dearest friend Mr. Hard Work Pays Off. Yes, my friends, that's his username. He's a very awesome guy, and of course he's sponsored this brilliant and awesome challenge, as you will be seeing in a moment. So a little brief history about pickup trucks. My friends, the pickup truck invention started in life in the year 1896 by the company Gottlieb Daimler. They invented the first, as they called it and marketed back then, a horseless wagon with a 4 horsepower 2-cylinder 1.1 liter engine, and that thing can actually carry up to 3,300 pounds. And that thing started of course the pickup truck movement, or the pickup truck invention, through the years. And of course factories and companies back then looked at that thing, that horseless wagon as they called it, and they loved it because it was faster to get to haul stuff from point A to point B. It was just better in every single way, compared to a regular horse powered wagon, basically. So yes, and it caught on. And in the early 1900s, my friends, other companies, other manufacturers started to dive in the same pool of pickup trucks. For example, Chevrolet followed that, and then of course in the year 1922 the Ford Model T pickup number 2 came into life. As we all know, the Ford Model T is the first mass-produced vehicle ever produced in a factory by Henry Ford. And of course there was a special version of it. It was a Model T pickup, and that thing caught on immediately. Factories, companies, everyone bought one because it was so dependable, it was so rugged, and it was just good in every single way. It was just a Ford Model T with a bed in the back. So that of course caught on the movement, and of course through the years 1925, 1929 and so on, more technology started to come into play. Through the years, more technology came into play. Bigger engines started to come into play. As I mentioned, they started with a 2-cylinder engine, then the 4-cylinder came into play. Then of course they introduced the inline 6 engine, which was much more reliable and much more powerful and torqueier. And then when V8s started to become cheaper, they introduced of course the V8 powered trucks. Chevrolet, GMC, Dodge, Ford, all of them made V8 powered trucks back then, which was like really amazing. And of course with more technology came into play, diesel started to become an important player in the game. People demanded diesel powered trucks because diesel, it's cheaper, it produces more torque, and of course in pickup trucks torque is your friend more than power. The pickup truck is like really awesome because it's dependable, it's reliable, you can use it for everything. You can use it to pick up kids from school, you can use it to to haul stuff, heavy stuff behind you, you can tow things with it, you can use it as a daily car. It is just perfect in every single way. I love pickup trucks and they are really awesome. But what we are looking for in this challenge, as I mentioned, it's muscle pickup trucks or muscle trucks, as I mentioned, because in the 1960s and early 70s and so on, muscle cars were the thing. If you want a high-powered vehicle, like a big, fat, powerful engine up front for little amount of money, you go and buy a muscle car. But of course, if you want to mix it up with, of course, the pickup truck recipe, you get a muscle truck, like for example the El Camino SS and so on, because these things were like basically muscle cars up front, the same big fat V8 up front that produce a ton of power with of course a bed in the back. That was the perfect recipe, really. And now in this challenge we are going to do the same thing, but with modern stuff, with modern materials and modern parts and everything, to make the perfect modern muscle truck. Yes, my friends, so let's pay attention to the rules and let's start creating. Alright, so the rules are pretty straightforward, and of course, as always, we'll be starting with the most important rule, which is of course the production year. Yes, my friends, the production year is 2020, no more, no less than that. Moving on with the second rule, which is of course the quality sliders. Yes, my friend, the quality sliders are allowed. You can go plus or you can go minus. And then of course you move on with the chassis type. Well, my friend, you can go only a ladder frame chassis. You can go ladder or light truck monocoque, only those two options. Moving on with the next rule, which is of course the body material. Well, my friend, you can go any body material, but no carbon fiber and no fiberglass. And then of course you have the suspension type. Well, my friend, you can go with any suspension type for the front, but the rear must have a rear solid axle. You need to use a rear solid axle only, but the front you can use anything you want. And then of course we move on with the engine. Well, my friend, this is a very important bit, because if you want to go naturally aspirated, you can go any realistic capacity you want, which means don't give me a 12-liter or a 15-liter or a 10-liter engine. No, go realistic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just search realistic engine capacity on Google and you will find the answer. Or if you want to go turbocharger, with the turbocharged engine, you can go only maximum 4 liters, 4000 cc max for a turbo, or any realistic capacity for a naturally aspirated engine. And as always, laggy engines will get disqualified for turbochargers. Moving on with the intake, well, my friend, you can go with standard or performance. Race intake is not allowed, which means of course you need to use only regular unleaded 91 octane fuel, only regular fuel, no premium or super, nothing, only regular. Moving on with the exhaust, well, my friend, you can go with any exhaust type you want, but you can't go with a race headers are not allowed. Also, you need to run with any type of catalytic converter, and you need to have at least one muffler. Moving on with the next bit, which is of course the engine stress. As always, engine stress is not allowed. Zero engine stress on RPM and on torque. No engine stress whatsoever. Moving on with the drive type, well, my friend, you can go with any drive type you want, but be realistic, don't choose something out of order basically. Moving on with the next bit, which is of course the gearbox. Well, my friend, you need to go realistic as well, which means double clutch gearbox and sequentials are not allowed. You can go any gearbox you want, but no double clutch and no sequential. Moving on with the differentials, you can go with any differential option you want. And then you have the tires. Well, my friend, you can go with any tire option you want, but no semi-slicks and no chunky off-road tires, because we are not building off-roaders. We are building, of course, just street trucks, basically, street powerful trucks. Moving on with the brakes, well, my friend, you can go with any brakes option you want, under 5% brake fading. Any brake system above 5% brake fading, the whole car will get disqualified. Moving on with the next bit, which is aerodynamics, you can go with any under tray option, but remember, overheating cars in BeamNG will get disqualified. So pay attention and test your car in BeamNG. Make sure the engine is not overheating. And then of course you have the seats or the interior. You can go with any interior option you want with 2 seats or more, no less than 2 seats. Which brings us to the next bit, which is of course the entertainment. You can go with any entertainment option you want, but it's required, so don't choose the non-option. Moving on with the traction aids and power steering, well, they are required, so don't choose none, but use any option you want. And then of course you have the safety, the same thing. If the safety equipments are required, so don't choose the non-option. And the next bit is actually very important, which is fuel economy. Since we are building a 2020 truck, you need to have at least 20 mpg, 20 United States mpg. This is the minimum limit. Any truck less than 20 mpg, the whole thing will get disqualified, because mpg matters in the year 2020. And then of course we move on with the suspension. Well, my friend, you can tune your truck to be sporty, but also it needs to be comfortable. We are not building a racing truck, we are building a street truck. So you need to have at least 20 comfort points, and this is the minimum comfort points, 20 points at least. But at the same time, it needs to be sporty and not wallowy or feels like a boat. No, it needs to actually be sporty and comfortable at the same time. And of course, that brings us to the total price or the total budget for your truck, which is $40,000 max. No more, no less than that. Well, actually, you can go less if you want to, but don't go cheap, because cheap trucks also will get disqualified. So use the budget, my friend. This is the budget, so use it. Use it as much as you want from it, but of course, don't build me a $10,000 truck, because it will get disqualified. And of course, we move on with the next bit, which is of course the TCP. Yes, my friend, the TCP system is back. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, the TCP, or the total category points, this is a system that I invented which will tell me how good your vehicle is in automation. So the higher your number is, the higher your TCP is, the better your vehicle is in automation. And to calculate your TCP number, you need to add together those categories that I'm going to give you right now, which you can find them at the end. When you finish building your car, automation will give you specific numbers for each category. So add these categories together, you will get your TCP number. And the categories in this challenge are drivability, sport, comfort, utility, and reliability plus eco. Again, drivability, sport, comfort, utility, reliability, and eco. These 6 categories, add them all together and you will get your TCP number. The higher your TCP number is, the better your vehicle is, and of course the higher chance your vehicle will be of course used in the testing video, because I'll be picking the top 20 TCP cars or TCP vehicles to test and judge in the testing live stream on Twitch. So make sure your vehicle has the highest number in TCP. And of course, the final point in the rules is of course the looks. Well, my friend, your vehicle needs to look modern, 2000s and above. Don't give me a 1970s truck or a 1980s truck. No, we are building something modern in the year 2020. So make sure your vehicle is actually pretty modern, not something from the 19th century, for example. No, give me something, from this era that we are living in. So make sure you are using, of course, the appropriate fixtures: headlights, tail lights, wipers, sensors, rear view cameras, side mirrors, lines, and the defroster lines and stuff. Make sure it's perfect. And because it's a pickup truck, give it a tough look. Google pickup trucks. Go to Google, of course, and Google modern pickup trucks, and just get inspired and try to copy the things that you like, or try to invent something you find appropriate for it. So yes, take your time, my friend. All right, let's talk about the deadline of this challenge, because right now we are in a very, very special month. We are in November right now, which is a very, very special month for me. Yes, a lot of you might know why, but it's very, very special. And that means of course the deadline of this challenge is at the 9th of November, 6 p.m. plus 3 GMT time, because that's my local time. Make sure to submit your car on my Discord before the deadline, and you are set and ready to run in this awesome challenge. Make sure to test your car in BeamNG a million times before you submit it. Make sure it's perfect in every single way. Then of course submit your .car file on my Discord, the link in the description below, and you are set, my friend. Alright, and as you can see, this is the prize car of this challenge, the XR5. The winner of this brilliant challenge will get the keys, or actually the zip file, for this brilliant car to enjoy and drive in his BeamNG.drive game. This is a supremely modern truck with the latest and the craziest materials ever. It was made specifically on these rules, with a ton of power and a lot of torque that can pull down or pull anything behind it, which is absolutely crazy. You may have seen, of course, the demonstration video clip in the video when it was towing a crazy amount of hay on a trailer, which was amazingly surprising for me. And as you may have seen as well, it is really crazy fast. Goes from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. From 0 to 100, I mean, this is a 2-ton truck, and it goes from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. That is really, really awesome. So make sure your vehicle is up to the task, because it's going to be brutal. The testing will be also super brutal, so make sure your vehicle again is up to the task. And that's pretty much it, my friends. Big thanks to the sponsor and the creator of this awesome challenge, Mr. Hard Work Pays Off. Thank you so much, my friend, for sponsoring and of course creating this amazing challenge. I really cannot wait to see what you guys will be creating. Big thanks to all my Patreon subscribers. You guys are really, really awesome for supporting me and making sure I get a lot of motivation to do crazy things for you guys. Really big thanks from all of my heart for supporting me and for becoming my Patreon members. Really, really big thanks from all of my heart. And of course, for all my Patreon members, you can actually download this truck right now. The link in the description below. It's available on my Patreon page. Just click the link, download it, and it will be in your game ready to run. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course I will be seeing you guys very, very soon. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now, my friends.